Tales of Herding Gods, Chapter 527. Chapter Translator Atlas Studios. Editor Atlas Studios. Chinmu's brow furrowed with disbelief. Why would Saint Woodcutter descend to this place? The sacrificial altar here, buried deep within the battlefield, had long been prepared. Could it be that the denizens of this world themselves summoned him? The thought struck him like lightning. Indeed, the altar lay at the heart of the clash, and the mingling of blood and flesh from the warring armies had awakened it, calling forth the saint, memories of Hermit Ching. Yu's words about Saint Woodcutter's revival a month prior flared in his mind. The axe-wielding sage had arisen, receiving tidings that compelled him to leave his slumber and descend via a sacrificial rite. A sudden onslaught assailed Chinmu from behind. Instantly, the gate of heaven influence swelled and spiraled with him, hurling countless souls into Yudu before they could even cry out. Whoosh! The tiger god bearing Saint Woodcutter leapt from the altar, heading straight into the enemy encampment. Its gaze swept over Chinmu with awe, and a voice like rolling thunder resounded across the battlefield. My lord, that appears to be your younger generation. From the tiger's back, Saint Woodcutter's eyes glimmered as he beheld Chinmu wielding the gate of heaven influence against the heavenly devil horde. A radiant brilliance emanated from him, illuminating the sacrificial altar's environs. Peculiar, how did he arrive at Supreme Emperor Heaven? He murmured before turning his gaze elsewhere. Wherever the tiger god strode, devils and beasts alike were thrown asunder. Its roar shattered the air, flinging countless devils skyward. Chinmu's thoughts drifted to the dragon Qilin's massive belly. Envy flared in his heart. This tiger god reveres Saint Woodcutter as lord, yet it carries him like a mount, truly majestic. On the tiger's back, Saint Woodcutter lifted his axe, cleaving through the flying divine arts of the devil gods. With a series of deft maneuvers, the tiger god carried him deep into the enemy camp. Mere breaths had passed from altar to encampment. Saint Woodcutter's axe descended, and the four heads of a four-headed devil god fell before it could even rise fully. Hatila! Devil gods surged to surround the tiger god, yet Saint Woodcutter's axe glowed like a torrential flood. Great educational heavenly devil scriptures, Chinmu thought, yet the movements suggested a mastery of the Overlord Body 3 elixir technique, complete and refined beyond mortal measure. Even as the heavenly devil horde pressed him backward, forcing him up the altar, Chinmu glimpsed the sage's movements. His comprehension of the Overlord Body 3 elixir technique surpasses mine by far. Saint Woodcutter's left hand wove intricate divine arts from the scriptures, each movement a harmonious fusion, reminiscent of Li Tianxing's great overarching heavenly stars palm force, yet infinitely more sublime. The combination of hundreds of techniques coalesced into a singular, devastating art. Around him, strange forces erupted, flinging devils aside. The giant axe swept through the battlefield, severing heads with terrifying ease. Chinmu's eyes followed with admiration, yet the heavenly devil horde continued to close in, relentless and overwhelming. The altar trembled under the assault, the clash of divine arts echoing like thunder. In such a vast battlefield, the might of one man seemed negligible. A moment's distraction could spell death. Chinmu abandoned caution, pouring all his strength into combat. The heavenly devil horde's abilities were profound. Their corporeal forms were alien, monstrous, fish-scaled webbed frogs, magma giants, lithe youths, grotesque women, scorpion-tailed ladies, 8-clawed women, 8-tentacled mutants, and snake-handed horrors. Their bloodlines were potent, their martial prowess innate and formidable. The elites surrounding Chinmu were unmatched in skill. As the horde surged, 10 pressed upon the altar, carefully avoiding the swirling gate of heaven inch behind Chinmu. 8,000 swords danced in his hands, scattering like locusts, forming the sword-treading mountains and rivers in a flash. Mountains rose, rivers flowed, yet were instantly dyed crimson with blood. A magma giant's hammer smashed down, sweeping corpses into the air. Chinmu met the hammer with carefree sword, clashing with a resounding clang before being flung skyward. In that instant, the magma giant was bisected, his hammer cleaving with unstoppable force. An 8-clawed woman lunged, corpses torn asunder by her claws, blood drenching the youth. Chinmu split his swords into 2 luminous blades, crossing like the moon in the heavens. The radiance exploded, meteor-like, slicing through the fog of blood and devil chi. The sixth form of butcher's pig slaughtering knife skills executed, long knives gleaming beneath the moonlight, startling celestial steeds among the stars, swords spiraled, circling Chin-Mu, intercepting the torrent of devil knives. A Mudra unleashed the knife expert into pieces, thunder booming over 10 miles. Yin-yang heaven-flipping hands overturned men and beasts. Ice froze the ground for 10 miles. Spiraling swords carved rivers of blood. 2 colossal pythons coiled around him as a snake woman seized him. With a glare, Chin-Mu's eyes fired beams, piercing her chest. The snake arms flung him skyward, yet his spirit surged. Below, an ugly woman hurled a calabash, spewing blood-colored devil chi toward him. "True dragon overlord body!" he roared. A volcano erupted behind him, magnetic flames licking the skies, incinerating the attack and the woman alike. A voice lauded him. "Superb divine art. Among 7 Stars Realm practitioners, you rank within the top 10. Chin-Mu's eyes tracked a great general of the heavenly devil horde ascending the altar, his form shifting to 4 heads and 8 arms, knives crisscrossing. He unleashed a primordial spirit 30 yards tall, mudras spiraling, devil markings burning with intermittent light, chains coiling to restrain Chin-Mu, yet the power of the palm would not harm him. Carefree sword and the flying blades returned, yet distance kept them from aiding him. Saint Woodcutter's fingers met, merging divine arts into a single eruption that obliterated a devil god. Inspiration struck Chin-Mu, and he mirrored the gesture. Overlord body. 3 elixir technique whirled, spirit and soul converging, elements shining. 6 directions and 7 stars aligned, sun and moon rotating. Bang, boundless energy shattered the devil chains. He raised his hand, welcoming the great palm from the primordial spirit. Chin-Mu's sword, divine arts and weapons raging, barely containing himself from venturing too high into certain death. Runes spiraled around him, and in a flash he vanished from the forbidden sky. Bang! He crashed 10 miles distant, battered yet alive. Divine arts practitioners colliding and scattering in the aftermath. Spirit weapons rained diagonally, countless devils perishing beneath the relentless storm. Still alive, Chin-Mu thought, astonished. Saint Woodcutter's intervention had saved him, guiding him through the edge of certain death. He extended his hand, drawing carefree sword and the flying blades back into a singular pellet in his palm. A crisp voice cut through the air. "I seem to have seen you before." Turning, Chin-Mu beheld a towering god, a girl with 2 braids perched upon its shoulder, her gaze curious as it examined him. Predator Atlas Studios. Chin-Mu's gaze fell upon the girl, the long braids of her hair cascading like twin silken rivers to her slender waist. You are the long braid girl," he exclaimed, his voice laced with wonder, as memories of the shadowy realm resurfaced. That night, enveloped in darkness, their silhouettes had danced side by side, evading the relentless pursuit of the heavenly devil horde. The sun had risen, the shadows receded, and she had vanished into the void. Now, standing atop the god's shoulder, the girl's eyes sparkled with recognition and delight. In swift, graceful steps, she descended to Chin-Mu's side, dimples forming on her cheeks. "You're that shadow boy, father." "He is the shadow boy who disappeared long ago." The god's gaze swept over Chin-Mu, suspicion mingling with curiosity. "If you are the shadow, why do you now possess a corporeal form? Your battle earlier was extraordinary. From whence came such prowess? 7 Stars Realm, you say? In Supreme Emperor Heaven, for a youth of 7 Stars Realm to wield such divine arts is a rare sight. Truly, a formidable spirit you are." Chin-Mu's heart quivered. "There exist practitioners stronger than me? Are they overlord bodies?" "Overlord bodies?" The god lifted them forward effortlessly. "I have never heard of such things. These youths bear the aptitude of true gods, sovereigns of spirit bodies. Born extraordinary, they are no overlord bodies. Kings of spirit bodies." Chin-Mu blinked, his mind awash with awe. The prospect stirred a tempest of excitement within. He had chosen wisely to traverse to this realm. He had thrown himself as an offering to reach Supreme Emperor Heaven, and now the battlefield revealed the potency of the heavenly devil horde, each entity rivaling the renowned Pangong-So in both strength and cunning. His fists clenched. The path to confronting the first ancestor human emperor now gleamed on the horizon. If hope was absent in eternal peace, Supreme Emperor Heaven might yet yield the secrets of victory. Abruptly, the gods surged ahead into the fray, leaving them behind. "Remain here." Far off, a rift tore through space, 6 obsidian hands clawing at its edges. The god's sword flashed, severing 2, yet a devil god appeared, hammer in hand, hurling him back with devastating force. The long braid girl's eyes followed the battlefield, tension etched into her features. Only upon seeing her father return, dispatching the aggressor, did she exhale, a fleeting relief brushing her lips. "Why have you appeared here when you were not present before?" the god inquired, his voice carrying confusion. The hinterland of great ruins and the borderlands of this place lay 20 to 30,000 miles apart. Proximity was impossible. Her expression darkened. "After your disappearance, our city fell to ruin. Many perished, but Father rescued us, guiding us to Brilliance, injured city." Chinmu hurried after her. "When I vanished, night became day. Should not the devils have disappeared as well?" Perplexed, she shook her head. Supreme Emperor Heaven did not succumb to the sun's rise. The devils remained unbound. Dutian Devil King was right, Chinmu thought, astonishment widening his eyes. The compression and breach of the world barrier spelled calamity. The devils could consume Supreme Emperor Heaven to collide with Eternal Peace World. But how could he prevent such a fate? She dashed toward the altar, urging him, "Rest at Brilliance injured city. I must contend with the army." "This wound is minor," Chinmu replied, catching up. "I am an apothecary of some renown in my world. I have tended to myself. I have come to seek greater skills, for much of my world has been lost to the ages." The sacrificial altar, immense as a mountain, had fallen to the heavenly devil horde under the lead of their general, blowing Chinmu 10 miles away. Hundreds of soldiers clashed with Supreme Emperor Heaven's divine arts practitioners upon its steps. The struggle was bitter, the air thick with divine aura and mortal defiance. Atop the altar, the heavenly devil general commanded dark lightning, which coursed and twisted across the ground. Flesh of the divine arts practitioners dissolved, leaving skeletal husks in its wake. Chinmu narrowed his eyes. The devil race's arts surpassed even the devil path practitioners of the heavenly devil cult. The long braid girl ascended the altar, eyes sharp and movements fluid. "Though your magic power is immense and your divine arts formidable, your techniques lack refinement at the true god level. Father observes gaps in your civilization's methods." She confronted an Ashura soldier of the Horde, his flesh etched with arcane runes, speed unparalleled. Yet her corporeal body rivaled the strongest. Their duel became a blur, palms and fingers weaving hidden techniques. In an instant, she shattered his heart at the brow, his head exploding, corpse tumbling down the altar steps. Chinmu's eyes twitched. Her arts lacked sophistication compared to his, yet her techniques bore extraordinary precision. Ascending further, she instructed, "Father notes that your hands, heart, dantian, legs, and eyes rival those of true god-aptitude youths, yet the unity of body and art remains incomplete. Thus, while impressive, you fall short of a young true god's mastery." Her path cleared, and Supreme Emperor Heaven's practitioners surged forward, inspired. The Horde pressed back, yet Chinmu transformed into Saturn Sovereign, sweeping Gate of Heaven influence. Horde soldiers caught fell instantly, their souls extinguished. Nodding, he recognized the truth. The corporeal and martial cultivation in Supreme Emperor Heaven eclipsed eternal peace. Strength lay not in finesse, but in the power of body and mind unified. Here, techniques were graded higher, each part of the body trained and battle power magnified. A dawning clarity arose. This journey might grant the means to confront the first ancestor human emperor. Supreme Emperor Heaven revealed its first rays of light. "Your power is formidable yet scattered," the girl continued. "Training isolated elements yields growth, yet unifying body, spirit, magic, and divine arts together brings another leap. Your dispersed technique is the cause of your limitation." Chinmu breathed, realizing her words reflected the weakness of not only himself, but of Eternal Peace's civilization. Achievements isolated, technique never systematized, inheritance fractured across 20,000 years of disaster. Finally, atop the altar, hundreds of practitioners clashed with the Horde, encircling the heavenly devil general. "Dogs and chickens!" the general's four-headed voice roared, flames of primordial spirit swirling, each head surveying the fray. "Your deaths are trivial as a palm's flip." The long braid girl and Chinmu exchanged grim glances. The general's might forbade direct confrontation. His single strike could claim a life. Beside her, Chinmu pondered, retrieving a jade eye from his touty sack, adjusting its back with meticulous care. "Can a bridge be constructed to link eternal peace with Supreme Emperor Heaven?" he asked. "A path for our practitioners to traverse and broaden their horizons." Cold sweat beaded upon her brow. Why so many questions? Focus on the enemy. If we do not defeat him now... Light erupted from the jade eye. The heavenly devil general leapt, only to be sundered mid-air. Chinmu crouched, drawing symbols and calculations, wielding measuring spirit tools and parchment, immersing himself in the mathematics of connecting worlds. He did not lift his gaze, absorbed entirely in weaving a bridge across the two realms. To balance the energies of both worlds, vast calculation is required. Do we possess such experts? What is the outcome if balance is not maintained?